It's already been done. I don't think it's going to help him at all. I really don't. I really don't at all. But because the people have seen it, that's what the bloodline was. To come in and if you ain't with us, then you're against us. So I don't know. We'll just have to see if that does happen. We'll have to see how it plays out.
Ric Flair, he's back in the news. In a magazine interview with Escapist magazine, he was asked about Randy Savage, and he said they had no chemistry, saying, quote, "No, we had terrible chemistry. He wanted to rehearse, and I didn't rehearse. I only did it for WrestleMania. Instead of having a week off, I had to come to Tampa and wrestle for 3 hours a day with him to memorize a match. And that just wasn't my style." Bill, that is a big difference for a lot of guys. A lot of guys just called it in the ring. But
Randy was known for that. That made him very nervous if he didn't know what to follow. He would write some directions on his hand to refer to during the match period. Teddy, you may have known that as well. But he was very nervous if he didn't know exactly what spots were coming when. And he was a master of it as long as he knew that. I didn't know that Flair had said that they had no chemistry, because when they were in the ring together, you couldn't tell they had no chemistry. I was in Philadelphia a couple of times when they wrestled on non-televised events, and they had some pretty terrific matches.
Teddy, what do you think?
Well, I really don't have too much to say about that. You know what I mean? You can't blame a guy like Randy Savage for wanting everything to be right. You know what I mean? I don't want to, when backstage, I used to have the same problem. I wasn't a wrestler, you know what I mean? But I wanted my stuff right before I got out there in front of all those people. So Randy just wanted to, he didn't want no screw ups. He wanted everything to be right. So you can't blame a guy for that. God rest his soul. He was a great guy.
Yeah, there have always been two different types in the back. There are those who will just say, "We'll call it in the ring," and then there are the other ones who say, "Well, no, let's tell me how are we going to start this? What we're going to do here? How are we going to go from this move to that move?" They will talk it all the way through. I was always one of those kind of like promos. Give me the bullet points of what we need to do, and that's what we'll do. And then call the rest in the ring. You know what I mean? You pick out the bright spots.
It amazes me that when they say we'll call it in the ring, or if they're going to rehearse it, how they remember mentally, how they remember the spots. It's like a dance where you do this part first, then that part next, and that part next. It's amazing.
Yeah, Ricky Steamboat talked about that with his match with Randy Savage, that it just drove him nuts, and he had to remember all this stuff. And he said he kept having to remind himself over and over again, okay, we go from this to this, this to this. And it said it drove him nuts. So, yeah.
Well, that's when you got it right. That's the way I came up with it. And that's how it's supposed to be today. Okay, but it ain't like that no more.
Oh, yeah.
The Usos have reunited and teamed up now for what it looks like they're going to team up against Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed. I kind of like this setup here, Teddy. I like the fact that the Usos are back together for a tag team match, and I like them against Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed. I think that's a perfect fit for both sides, really. And I think when it all washes out, that I can see the Usos carrying, the win here and there, but eventually losing, though, to Bronson and Braun. Your thoughts?
So where did you come up with that at?
Well, they're back together. They're going to have a match against Braun Breaker and Bronson Reed. That's where it came from. Why are you so evil today?
News bulletin here. On Monday Night Raw, after we were taping this, it looks like Jey Uso and his brother Jimmy Uso will wrestle, those two, of course, I believe, at WrestlePalooza, but it looks like they may split up before anything happens. It looks like Jey Uso might dirty attack his brother during that match. They're having severe problems with LA Knight in the middle here, and it looks like Jey Uso is not very happy, and he may be turning heel.
Teddy, do you think this is a time to turn Jey heel against his own brother after all the stuff we've seen in the last year, 2 years with the bloodline and stuff?
You already done that. You know what I'm saying? If you think about it, that's already been done. Maybe it wasn't done with those two guys, but it's already been done. I don't think it's going to help them at all. I really don't. I really don't at all. But because the people have seen it, that's what the bloodline was. To come in and if you ain't with us, then you're against us. So I don't know. We'll just have to see if that does happen. We'll have to see how it plays out.
Bill, do you think it's time for that?
Can you imagine? Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, Bill, I was asking, do you think it's time for those two to split, for Jey to turn on his brother?
Now it's very compelling on TV how they're having Jey act, very disgusted with everything. And can you imagine if they did the angle where Jey went to Paul Heyman and became part of the vision there?
God, I hope not. I feel like that entire bloodline association with Paul, all that needs to just fall away. They just let it go. That's an old story to me, and I wish they'd put it away.
Did you see how hot Jey Uso and LA Knight were at each other? They're both baby faces, and they both were nose to nose. And this could be a hell of a feud. But who the fans going to vote for or root for? Probably Jey Uso, maybe LA Knight's turning heel. It's very confusing, but a compelling storyline because it's making us think about what they're going to do.
Yeah, and I'm glad to see it's LA Knight. They're doing something with him, man. I really like him, and I think if they give him an opportunity, he could be money.
LA Knight is a fan favorite. I mean, just listen to the crowd. Every time he comes out, he's just one of those guys that's over. No matter what town you go to, he always gets cheered. Nikki Bella said,
not if he wrestles Jey Uso, we don't know what's going to happen there.
Unless Jey Uso is full on heel by that time.
Well, I don't think that's going to happen because just his entrance alone, it could happen, but his entrance alone coming down and yeeting with the kids, they love that. This would be like when, Hogan turned heel. He was the biggest baby face in the world. And he turned heel. When you look at Jey Uso, right now he's like one of the biggest baby faces in WWE. The fans just love him. They eat him up with no matter what he does. So can you imagine if he turned heel?
I have to wait and see. Nikki Bella said that Wade Barrett avoided her say that 3 times fast. Avoided her on a podcast, to which Wade responded, I had no idea that Nicole felt this way, and I'm happy to have this conversation anytime she likes. I wish she brought it up when she said hello to each other at Raw, rather than via her podcast. I don't understand the avoiding.
What is wrong with you?
Avoiding claim at all. Now his mouth doesn't work.